Hello and welcome to Stampscapes Live, another impromptu live stream here. We have a follow-up to the lantern type of reflection card. I've really liked the three-dimensional aspect of these. And I wanted to go in and try this experiment with these lanterns stamped onto the printable vinyl glow-in-the-dark sticker paper. All right, so the thing that I've done is I've gone in with an alcohol pen, and you can see these ones down here that aren't colored, but I've added in this extra tone of this greenish glow in here just because I think it'll look better when the lights are on. Okay, when the lights are off, the glow-in-the-dark will do its thing, but we want these pieces to look pretty good. Even with the lights on and have them be effective. So I've added in those extra tones in there. Okay, so we've stamped out one of the Moonlight Dreamer images in the form of this reclining figure here. I thought she would be kind of interesting with a glow-in-the-dark moon, and I don't know, I thought it was a kind of an evocative image, and hopefully it will be even more so when we get all of these different tones and everything and this card construction put together. I've pre-stamped my lower silver mirrored cardstock with StazOn ink. Okay, so here's all my little lanterns in here, but then I've cut out the top portion of these lanterns, and these will be adhered right in here. What's kind of nice about the glow-in-the-dark sticker paper is that it is a sticker paper, so I don't have to apply any type of glue on the back of them just to put them down here. Not that, you know, the glue is any big deal, but in terms of effort. But sticker paper is one step further in getting us to where we're going with these different types of constructions here and processes. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to add in and tone in some shading onto my semi-gloss quarter-page cardstock here. Hello, Linda and Bonnie. How are you both? I had to follow up with the those glow-in-the-dark lanterns and see what they look like. So here we go. Let's see what they look like on a little quarter-page card here. All right. So, little ocean aqua here, and just a fairly light tone. Don't have to use ocean aqua, of course, especially these days because it is no longer available. But just any kind of light blue here would do. I have heat set my imagery ahead of time just so it doesn't smear on me. You can use pretty much any type of background that you want. This is not... doesn't necessitate any kind of specific techniques going on in this background. You know, this scene is all about the glow-in-the-dark sticker paper and I guess foil for the most part. But you can do this top scene, and if you do it, or any scene that you put up here that you want floating lanterns in the water and glow-in-the-dark floating lanterns, you can put anything you want up here. Let's see here. All right, so there's my base coat of blue. It's barely visible. It's a really great blue to add in there. It doesn't even, I have often thought that these base layers, if you're working with such a pale tone, it almost doesn't even need to be a color. If we had like some kind of like, whatever that binder is in here, just a colorless one, and you just kind of saturate the paper with it, it would work fine in order to make our additional colors that we add on to here really easy to apply. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's go with this green here. I thought this green was kind of close to the color of this glow-in-the-dark sticker paper. It's that greenish kind of real basic glow-in-the-dark color. But I was saying in a previous video, when you get into like the glitters and the luminous glitters, I guess they call them, They come in all kinds of different colors, but as far as I know, the sticker paper, the printable sticker papers, if they're glow in the dark, you only have one tone to work with, and that's that greenish one. All right, so getting a little bit of a tonal transition here. It's really, really wet at this point in time already. Okay, here is a light blue. It's kind of close to the color that I stamped my clouds in, the cloud cumulus. And making an assessment here. I think this is going to be pretty, my clouds aren't going to be very visible there looking at all this ink here. So I think I'm going to go with another layer of clouds on the perimeter, but just stamped in the darker color. Hello, Julia, how are you? Cynthia, how are you? Prussian blue, really, really dark. I don't know. Here, hold on a second. Before I go to that one, let's go in like this and bring in some of that Prussian blue in there. It doesn't look really dark because it is so wet on here, so that not a lot of this ink is transferring, which is kind of good because it makes it easier to blend in when the paper isn't just grabbing the ink so fast. You know, it's like resisting it. It's a little bit, you know, it's wet being applied into wet. Damp, I should say, you know. All right, going for those transitions right here. This open spot is going to be a big, the large full moon in there. Okay, so this is how you do this right here. When you're doing these transitions with this cloud right here, sometimes you stamp it out, and whatever color you stamp it out in, maybe my Prussian blue is a little bit dry too. That's why maybe it wasn't going on too dark. But what you do is, I'm inking this up, but I'm going to wipe off this portion that's kind of facing the light, okay? And this perimeter right here. It's because it should be quite a bit darker than the colors that have already been applied. Let me hold this down for a little bit longer so that the ink transfers. I need to re-ink this pad here. I'll do that at another date. I don't have that one re-inker handy on my desk right here, I don't think. Caribbean blue, nope. Okay, yeah, well that's quite a bit darker. Okay. I wasn't quite sure how dark it would be just because of the, you know, how saturated this paper is right now. But you can get tonal transitions just with your imagery as well. You know, that's what we do with the tiny rocks, you know, just going for multiple impressions. But with something like this, or with background trees, you can just use your color scheme with your imagery to represent depth. So the things that are, objects that are darker typically look closer to you. That lantern piece from yesterday, was that yesterday? It's one of my favorite pieces in a while. I really like the look of it. This one right here. I think that looks so dimensional, you know, down there with those lanterns like that on the water. To me, it looks really I guess it is 3D because it's, you know, we got a piece of paper sticking out at us, but those lanterns actually look, to me, like they're coming off the paper almost. All right, so there is that salvia, I mean, not salvia, but the Prussian blue. Let's see if we can go darker now. Maybe I might need to heat set a little bit. I thought I can get in a card before the family eats dinner. That's one of those good things about stamping, I always say. One of the great things about rubber stamping is you can, we can spend hours on a card or a project, but we can also spend like, I don't know, whatever, half an hour, 45 minutes, and get a finished piece in. Now I've prepped this one ahead of time, but it's not going to take too long to do in this quarter page format, and I'm not working with a lot of different colors here. And that lower portion, the mirrored portion, is just, it's just kind of laying everything out in black. And then in this case, doing a little bit of extra with the cutting, the trimming of the out of the lanterns. But I don't know, it probably took me like 2 minutes to do, maybe. I don't know, maybe a little bit longer because I did cut out that moon too. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to black now, okay? And we'll do that on the perimeter, but so you can have this like, I don't know, like this funnel or tunnel, I guess, of clouds now with them in 2 different values. You can even do it like a lighter one in there, but I'm going to put that full moon in there, so really, wouldn't do very much if I put that, put another lighter cloud in there, because it's just going to get covered up. All right, black. Black's penetrating here pretty good. Sometimes I've wondered if the black ink is a little bit of a thinner ink, so it can kind of penetrate through the thicker ones easier. With the Marvy black, it's different with every brand. The consistency of it. You have to really stay out on the perimeter like this when you're applying like a super dark color that's applying pretty quickly. You stay out here longer, okay, before you start taking it in to the scene like this, just so that you stamp out a lot of the ink first, like this, and then so when you start moving in, you're using a drier applicator. But, you can also do it via with the rate at which you're applying, or the pressure at which you're applying to. If you press a little bit harder, you might transfer ink a little bit faster. So there you have a nice little vignette in here. We have a little bit more containment. Hello, Sheila. How are you? All right, so there we go, like that. Now let's see. I was going to use some colored pencils in here. Let's heat set this. This is like really super juicy, and I want to get some additional tone down in this area. So this area in here, I mean, we have a decent range of tones in there. Values, I should say. But let's add some brightness and warmth into here. Don't color in everything. Remember to kind of still keep it a little bit, keep some of those lighter areas in there, just for some extra kind of value pop. Okay, so you have a little bit of light and dark within there. It's not a huge amount of contrast, but... And then you can apply a little bit more here and there. You can use pens or pencils, and you can use some pens down here too if you want to, just kind of blend them a little bit. Let me see, let me do a little bit of better blending in here. Okay, let's see. Let's try a little bit of a, now, let me see, this warm gray, I don't like this warm gray. It's like a rose gray or something like that, if there's such a thing. Let's get a little bit of warmth on the figure. The moon isn't going to be like warm, but I just want to get a little tiny tinge of a different hue, I think, in here. Let's see. Here's a little bit of a tan. Put some down in that grass area as well. And let's see. So it's a bluish tinge in here. So it's a bluish light, cool light. So I'll add some of this into the mix. So I'm adding it into the shadow areas because my illumination on this figure, it's really, really thin. It's like razor thin. Okay, so I'm taking this and I'm adding it into these shadow areas as opposed to going out too much. Well, I'll go a little bit into that lighter area. Otherwise, we're just going to lose all of our lighting on our figure if we go into it too much. All right, so I think that's all I can really do there, on this one. That's a really easy kind of a lighting assignment, I guess. All right, now what I wanted to do too is instead of stamping out these reeds like this before I colored, I thought I would do it afterwards, because I stamped that out and I added all those different colors in there. Little thin things that are supposed to be nice and sharp like that, sometimes they can get a little blurry. So you do all your coloring first and then just stamp them right out over the top of it. And sometimes that you can retain the crispness or whatever of the forms better that way. Okay, let me see here. Let me go ahead and add a little bit of shading, shadow work next to this figure first here. Maybe I should, this is waxy colored pencil and it might resist the dye basting that I'm going to use here. I guess you can go with like a VersaFine Clair, like an oil base. Maybe that, I don't know if that would stamp over wax better though. I don't know. StazOn would do it too, but I think we'll just go with the dye-based black here. A little bit more leaning left. I go vertical, start leaning right, 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 like that. Okay, so you get these forms kind of like going from the outside like that, and then they start leaning in a little bit more, pointing towards our center of the cloud, or our subject matter like that. So you get these, they're like little fingers pointing at whatever you want your viewers to look at. And then I leave a little bit of space in between like this for our viewers to enter the the composition like that. Okay, so she was looking like that right here. There's our lanterns down there. My lantern, whatever, guide impressions. That's not where the lanterns are going to be. Or that's not where they're going to be, just on the foil like that. They're going to be the vinyl sticker papers like that. So you can see that kind of glowing down there like that. And this moon, it looks okay without the moon too, but I think this will look kind of cool like that. It's like super dramatic. I give a little bit of this tinge of this green on the moon too, with there's a little bit of blue up there too. So I'm going to put this like right here. Let's go a little bit high on this one. I don't want it too close to her face. One thing about the reflection cards, I don't go too high up here because if we do that, they don't reflect down in this lower portion too much, so, or the objects up top, so. Let's see, let's put this together here. It's kind of nice having the sticker paper, um, having it be stickers like that. All right, and we have three. Okay, so I was mentioning, I colored these lanterns like this on the Gira. What is it? Gira vinyl. I forget the name of the brand. I'll put it in the description later on. But what I've done here is, oh, I don't know. Yeah, okay, these two pens right here. I found like these two. I think I tried some blue on there and it looked pretty good too. But you take like an alcohol pen like this. Okay, you see the difference between like these two. You know, these ones right here are colored, and these ones right over here are too. But see this right here? Here, I'll do this right here. So you just go in and actually these are colored right here already. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of following the lines like this. And then I go underneath that glow too a little bit. Like this, maybe I'll use a couple different greens here. I like this yellow green here. I didn't know if it would be too warm and stand out too much, but I thought it looked okay. So this right here. And keep that kind of that glowing lower section of these like that, okay? See how kind of these ones look kind of a little bit flat, you know, without that extra tone in there. These are alcohol pens. I guess you can use, if you had water-based pens too, that would work really good. The water-based pens might actually dry a lot faster as you're applying it because this is like a water reactive surface in that this emulsion coating on here. So I don't know, the alcohol dries really fast too, but the alcohol, I don't know, I think you can kind of manipulate it if you want to move it around with like a blender pen, like an alcohol blender pen. You probably can do that more. But the water-based one, I would imagine it's just like really set firmly right away, just because that's what that surface is designed for. Okay, so here's three of these lanterns down here. I was careful not to put them anywhere where that figure is going to be reflecting down here. Okay, let's see. I've never done so many stickers as I've done in the past, what, couple days here. On a card, at least, that I can remember. So I remember when, like, the scrapbooking world was, it was a large percentage of it was the products were stickers. So you'd go into like like some places like there were scrapbook stores opening up, independent ones, you know, and those ones really kind of blew up. But like those real early stores that I saw, at least, it was like a Mrs. Grossman sticker store. So just like a wall of rolls of stickers. I remember seeing those at like some pretty popular malls. You know, can you imagine that you're just selling stickers and the rent in those malls. Must have been pretty high. It didn't seem like they were around for too long, though. Just the dedicated Mrs. Grossman's ones, at least. I don't know if they were franchises or company owned or what. Okay, here. I better do this right now. This is all super wet down here, those reeds. Okay, let's take a peek here and see. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty dimensional, like that. We got the full lights on, but those sure do look like they're glowing to me already. You know, that glow-in-the-dark sticker paper. This sticker paper is really good, too. Some of the glow-in-the-dark paints, I'm not quite sure how strong they are. I have one that's not very strong that I got. It really requires a lot of layering, I think, to really get it to pop. But this paper in itself it's really aggressive. It grabs the light and it retains it pretty good. It's actually kind of thick too, which is I guess is the is how it works, pretty well as far as that light retention goes. Oh my gosh, you got a huge storm, huh? I'm gonna have to look at that. I use this. I go to this website called Weather Underground. It's like WU or W Underground or something like that, but the Weather Underground. But it has like you can have like there's all these like private weather stations. Even it could be in people's yards, and you can get these really accurate or pretty accurate weather predictions and things like that up to the hour or something like that. And but it also has that satellite on there. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm curious to see how much like rainfall you guys are expecting. Hello, Josh TV. Oh, thanks. Thanks for checking them out, Josh. Appreciate it. That's cool. Are you guys stampers at all, or just just like the vids? I've often thought my videos are, even for stampers, except for the hardcore ones. So I kind of wonder how people watch them. Like this one right here, I tried to pre-stamp everything out a little bit more because I don't want to be sitting up here like cutting out like like 5 paper lanterns or something like that. Not exactly very engaging viewing, unless it's something like ASMR or something. So if I have enough time to prep something, I'll try to remove, maybe the most painful processes, painful viewing processes. Of course, on the pre-recorded ones, of course, we can always, people can just like fast forward. All right, that was some green here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a greenish ones down here. It kind of looks like that greenish glow from the glow in the dark. I'm hoping that I can flip off my lights in here and we can get kind of the gist of what this is going to look like. Without the room being just completely black, with just those things glowing in there. So we'll see if I can get to give you the gist of what that would look like in kind of dimmer light with the lights glowing. All right, so there's a little whatever. It could be dew that's kind of reflecting in the moonlight or something like that. I'm tempted to put some on these reeds right here, but I don't think so. Well, I tell you what, let's do this right here. Let's do maybe green, or did I do it in blue? I mean, white. Here, let's do this right here. Let's put these little fireflies in here. So they're gonna be like a little bit of a larger dot. Okay, and we'll go like that. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll make them glow a little bit more with some white pigment ink here. Last Friday, 4 inches. Or 4 degrees. Tomorrow in the 70s. What the heck is going on there? Not Stampers, just came across. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really appreciate that. You might be the only couple watching these vids. So I really appreciate that. Someone once, I stamped something for someone one time because they told me they had like a 10-year-old. Now the mom was a stamper and crafter, okay? But the she says yeah, she and her son, she says her son was really into them, and he was like 10 years old. And that was a few years ago. But I have a son that's like 18 now. But it's like, he's not gonna he's not watching me like stamp. He's like not when it's not when you got things like video games and things like Minecraft. So it's like, my some of my videos are like competing with Minecraft. That's a video game for anyone that doesn't know. That swept the world. It was just some guy, programmer, that started working on that code for Minecraft. I think he was a he might have been a gaming programmer or something like that, but just on his spare time at home, he worked on this program, and I don't know, eventually after, I don't know, what would like 7 years, or I don't know how many years it was, he sold it to Microsoft for $2 billion. But it has a big share of the, certain population from even like kids and even adults. Okay, so those are some little fireflies down there. We have them glowing like that. I was tempted to put in some little highlights on some of these clouds, but I think from a textural standpoint, we'll just keep the glowing kind of like little dotted thing in here, or little dots, what are relegated to this area down below, just so it, you know what I mean, it looks a little bit different than putting like highlights all over up here. Years, I don't know, maybe even like a couple of years ago, I would have done like everywhere. But I've changed. Okay, let's see. I've matured as a highlighter, a dotter, D-O-T, whatever, apostrophe E-R. Okay, let's see. But let's add in some softer tones. So we go from dark to light from the outside in with our darker media. When we're working with light media, if our light source is in the center here, you work from the inside out, okay? So I'm adding quite a bit here where it doesn't show up at all. And then you just kind of work it across in there, okay? And you can get that kind of softer light. And personally, when I add that type of thing in there, Even though this is all visual, I think it looks more kinesthetic that way. You're kind of adding in the sense of, or a feeling of touch into it because it has a different texture to it. And it's also lighting too. So, and you see, you can kind of creep that in out there. If I do like a rough kind of application of ink and it doesn't really blend in very well, I can smooth it out with techniques like this. So, if I'm kind of like messing something up, I usually don't worry about it because I know that I have this, in my whatever hip pocket that I can use to remedy some sort of, like a feeble application of whatever I'm doing. So, all right, so see this right here? The form is all kind of, it's just line work, it's just stamping out an image. But when you add in those little forms like this, it becomes a little bit more of a, I don't know, whatever, a varied lighting. It's a soft lighting. I think it looks more, I don't know, maybe like more sensual, in terms of the lighting in there. All right. Okay, now see this right here, this area right in here. I think this is a pretty good opportunity because it's still relatively light down here. I didn't darken in that grassy area there. So I can hit that probably with a little bit of texture like that. It just looks like it's kind of illuminated. It's kind of in the mist a little bit. Like that, and it's a little bit more atmospheric. The clouds look to me like it's that mist that's in the background. It's like represents the farthest objects in the scene. Okay, so it's like this vapor, right, that's been illuminated. Or this moisture in the air. So, and then you can put it like down here too, because that's what mist represents. It's like this moisture in the air that's being illuminated by the moon. So you have it in the back and in the front like this of an object. So it envelops your figures or whatever objects, could be trees or anything like that, into a scene. And then again, it's a little bit more kinesthetic like that when you have things that are kind of wrapping around things visually. And let's see here. Okay. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, a relatively evocative scene. This, I messed up on this one right here. I put these clouds on the back here. It's like, oh yeah, my moon is going up here though. So you just stamp it on the other side instead. All right, let's see what this looks like here. All right, lights on. So I think this looks pretty good with lights on. But see, here's like these little lanterns like that. See. Now, these are the smaller ones right here. I colored all my larger ones. But see, if I didn't color those lanterns down there, I mean, I think it would look okay, but you put that extra little tone in there. I mean, it takes like 10 seconds to do. And I think these look better, in lighting, lit up like that. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, when we flip off the lights here, but we'll have to give it a try here. Thanks, Patty. You need to get some of that paper. You didn't happen to pick up any glow-in-the-dark paper along the line, huh? That's one of those papers that you don't really see too often out there. In fact, I thought there would be I thought it'd be stone simple to find glow-in-the-dark paper like a few years ago when I was thinking about doing something. It was like, oh my God. He's like, you can't find it anywhere. All right, let's see if we can get this glow. Let's see if we can get the gist of what this looks like with the lights off here. You know, hopefully we can still see the scene in my camera. Kind of, you know, can compensate. Oh yeah, there we go. Now it looks a little different. My camera's kind of compensating, you know, a little bit more for it, you know, this. But I left my light on the other side of my room just so we have a little bit of ambient lighting in here. But look at that. Isn't that fun? So you know, I mean, if you get that to someone, you know, that makes for a pretty dramatic presentation right there, I think. And, you know, it's one of those things, it's one of those gifts that are cards, you know, or card, you know, I guess a card can be a gift, right? But as soon as you give it to them, you know, someone will, if they know what it is, it's one of those types of gifts that you give to someone and they immediately, you know, run into the bathroom with it. Or a dark closet, you know. But if it's during the daytime, you know, it's you know, you go to the closest, you know, spot, you know, it's usually like a bathroom. So you get you give a card like that, you get people running to the bathroom like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? And see, here's the you know, I didn't even really charge this up. Let me see if I can charge it up first. Here, I didn't even hold this up next to the light. This was just the light that was hitting it from, you know, a distance. Okay, that wasn't long. It was like, I don't know, whatever, like a 5-second charge. It almost looks like it's glowing already, huh? Just with that little quick charge. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how dimensional that looks. Those lanterns look like they're actually kind of sticking out of the, sticking off the paper three-dimensionally, right? But no, it's flat. Yeah, this is like too much, there's this glow-in-the-dark stuff like this, and this just with a piece of silver paper like that. So you get glow-in-the-dark sticker, you know, sticker paper, printable sticker paper. I think there's glow-in-the-dark vinyl too. Be sure and get the printable glow-in-the-dark sticker paper so you can stamp on it. The other ones you have to use like special inks, like a StazOn, in order for it to stamp on here. And then the printable one too, it allows me to go and color them, okay? Because it's kind of grabbing the ink a little bit better. If you got it that available, you know. If you don't, then you just go with whatever you have there. So, but yeah, the printable is the key word in that in those products there. Okay, let's see here. What do people think here? My hubby watches with me sometimes. He nicknamed you Dottie. You can have like date night. It's the Stampscapes date night viewing. We'll have that like once a week or something like that, you know. And we'll do like a kind of more maybe like more sensual card subjects, you know, in the form of I don't know what it would be. It'd be like sunsets and I don't know, things bathed in golden light, maybe. Unless a couple is like really into Halloween, then we'll have to do something of the macabre nature. All right. All right, folks. I think I'll end this video like that. Let me take a look and see what that looks like with the lights on again, like that. Okay. Yeah, pretty cool in the daytime too. I wasn't quite sure what these were going to look like, you know. just in normal light, and you're working on this type of, this greenish looking, it feels like plastic. Well, it's vinyl. But, up close here, I think it looks pretty good. In person, it looks reasonably dimensional in lighting. But yeah, so I plan on doing these things. We have these other lanterns too, and I plan on really utilizing this vinyl with the different in different scenes. I thought about this too. I thought about having these kind of floating on the water, but then I was thinking about having these smaller ones in the background like that too. But I thought, maybe it's more effective if I just put it in the water or something like that too, or only. And that looks pretty cool. If someone had, I don't know, it was Linda on here. Linda has, I think, a glow in the dark paint pen. Okay, so those little fireflies up there in like a glow in the dark paint pen would be really cool. It just depends if they're strong enough. Sometimes little paint pens, you charge them up and they last, and you flip off the light and they last like all of like, I don't know, like 5 seconds or something like that before they disappear. But I don't know, if you have a really good paint pen, I think that'd be really cool too. All right, so let's take a look at that one more time. Yeah, that is really fun. This is like a for me, I'm talking about me here. This is like what I call a geek out technique, as I'm a stamping nerd or geek. It's like full on stamping geekdom for me. My attention is like focused down here on these reflection cards most of the time. So yeah, that is really fun. I like light coming out of my cards, so here's another way to do it, I guess, another option for us, in a certain type of I don't know, whatever look here. I've only used these lanterns like in reflection cards, but like Deanna Tubsadillo used them in a really cool. She flanked a path with it on white paper, and it looks like they're glowing too. They're not physically glowing, but she looks like it with the way that she kind of illuminated them by darkening the areas around it. But yeah, so it looks like, I don't know, looks like we can have some fun with these. And this is, I don't know, this is only my third one kind of experimenting. So hopefully, so it opens up a lot of doors. And yeah, I think we can do these lanterns in whatever. I think it's cool to do them in with whatever color scheme we're working in. But I guess we can contrast it. I have green ones up here against a sunset sky or a purple sky. So you have like purples in those green tones like that. Would look pretty cool. So a lot of things to experiment and try. Okay, let's see here. Does the glow in the dark paper come in different color? I don't think it does, Sheila. I only saw the one, and it's only that green one. It would be cool if it came in all those different colors of the whatever glow in the dark spectrum, like the paints and glow in the dark glitters. The glitters come in like every color of the spectrum, from like blues and like even like oranges and reds, I think it was. But yeah, not on the papers. The papers are just it's just too rare. I'm just glad that this stuff is out there. I found one brand of it years ago, and it was like $2. I don't know, it might have been more. It might have been like $3 a sheet. It came in like a 5-pack, but the price came down. I haven't looked at it lately, but it was much more reasonable. So that's why I didn't use it too much before, because I don't like to use like like hard to find plus expensive stuff, in the pieces. But when the price comes down and it, becomes like you know what I mean? Because we don't do a lot of stuff on glow in the dark. So I didn't, people are going to buy like a pack of something and use it like in one card for one purpose right here. But I don't know. I have my killer application for it now. I might be using it all the time, and if, we can come up with some like different compositions or whatever like this. So I have those lanterns now, lights that I think it will be really cool to use them in. I mean, this like stuff like this too, these little glowing lights and this glow in the dark stuff like that. I was using it with the Halloween things like pieces as well, which are really fun. So I think these little glowing lanterns like that in a Halloween scape too would look really cool. Yeah. Let's see here. I wonder how highlighter pens would work. It'd probably work on there. You mean to color candy? It won't make it glow, but I don't know. These things right here too, this glow in the dark, it'd probably be really insane under a black light. I don't know how many people have black lights, maybe have some Halloween decor or something like that. You bust out a, black, fluorescent black light or for something every year. That might look pretty cool on there too. Stephador's Jewelry and More. Hello, how are you? The paper is, the glow-in-the-dark paper is gear. Okay, I'll put a link into it in the description. I think it's called Gira Vinyl or something like that. And it's okay, here's the key thing too, if you just joined in. It's a printable glow-in-the-dark vinyl sticker paper. Here, I like cut out my pieces out of here, okay? There's glow-in-the-dark vinyl out there, okay? Now that would be cool for certain purposes too, but it's the printable one that allows us to stamp. Don't stamp on here with like your VersaFine Clair, I don't think, because it's an oil-based pigment ink, but your dye-based inks and your StazOn would probably work on there too. I used my Brilliant, I think I used my Brilliance one on Brilliance pad, which is a water-based pigment ink, okay? I don't know. I can't remember now what I used on this one, but water-based media works on the printable vinyl papers, okay, the holographics, and something like the glow-in-the-dark, or just, your basic printable vinyl, too. Printable vinyl also comes in white, okay? So look for that printable aspect, and then it'll say in the description, it usually says it in the description, or in the title, but it also will say something like, you can run it through. It usually says like inkjet printers or dye-based printers, I think is what they use in terms of the terms. So that would be your inkjet printers, okay? I don't think it's going to take like toner from a laser printer. That's not like a water-based medium. But these papers like this, these vinyls, they kind of make them for your printer, so you can throw it through there and print something on there. It's not, they weren't really thinking about the crafting market and, using crafting inks. But yeah, but they take different things, and I like how they color too with the alcohol, pens, or like I said, it'd probably work with water-based pens as well. If you want to get a little bit of extra color on there. Oh yeah, the highlighters. Yeah, they're fluorescent, but they're not glow in the dark. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd give them a try. I thought of doing the moon. Yeah, the moon and glow in the dark is fun, huh? Linda has a black light bulb. Hey, Linda, you didn't you buy that? You bought the glow in the dark vinyl, right? You had to do something with your pieces, unless you have already, and then take the photo with that black light bulb on it. That'd be really cool. They have the glow-in-the-dark mica powders. Yeah. I love those glow-in-the-dark powders. I have... So these ones right here, there's tons of these ones out there, but the luminous powders like this. See how many different colors there are right here? But it comes in so many different colors, and these ones are glow in the dark here. So you just charge them up. Okay, I didn't charge it up very much, but those ones right there are glow in the dark. I haven't used these enough though, but I'm gonna have to start using them maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to figure out a way to kind of put it like a little bit of powder or something like that. I don't know if it would glow, very much because I don't know how much of those powders will retain light if I don't add a pretty thick amount of it down there. But it would be cool if you can kind of just like sprinkle like a tiny little bit in some areas. I don't know what I would have to do. I'd have to paint on some like a really thin layer of adhesive or something like that, I think. And just sprinkle some of it on there just to have a little bit of a glowing surface on there, in addition to the mirrored or something like that. Or you can put some like right in here, maybe on the grass, maybe as a little bit of a highlight. And that might be pretty cool. So, I don't know. Yeah, we got to start doing more glow in the dark cards. I haven't done it yet, but because I think I'd burn out my rods and cones for 3 days. But I was going to do a live stream just under a black light. I think I was thinking about doing it for Halloween, this past Halloween, but I just didn't get around to it. But I was going to stamp on, what was I going to do? I don't even remember. Maybe I was going to stamp onto the glow-in-the-dark paper just to do a whole scene on there, And I've done that before, but not like under a black light. I don't think. I might have done something years ago, but I can't remember. All right, let's see here. Lanterns, Everglow, printing paper, vinyl for pictures, Halloween party pieces, 10 pieces, yellow. Okay, yellow green. That's a glow in the dark there with that candy. I'm guessing it is. It's called Everglow, right? 10 pieces. What is the price on that one, Candy? So 10 pieces of 4x6. That's not very many. Or that's not a lot of surface area. But if it's cheap enough, that'd be pretty cool. If it's a yellow-green glow, it's a little bit more of like a hot. It sounds like it's a warm glow when it's yellow-green, but I find that these glow-in-the-darks are kind of like temperatureless, But it'd be fun to play around with those different hues like that. Oh, that's cool with the glow-in-the-dark. Are they going to somehow shoot it glow in the dark? Or did that already run? It's an upcoming scene, Linda? I've only used those luminous powders. Like I can't remember when I used this before. I got some of these powders when I realized that they were out there because I hadn't been looking for like glow in the dark media. But the luminous powders and the chunky holographic glitter colors of that same brand, and it's probably of a bunch of brands. They have the different sizes of holographic glitters, but then there's also a few pieces of the glow-in-the-dark little bits in that glitter too. I don't use that too much, for glowing. I use it mostly for the glitter, but I use that one quite a bit. But I haven't played around with the Sayas enough yet. I'll have to find like a really good application. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to have these snails. I have these snail stamp designs, and I was going to do like a trail under like maybe a glow-in-the-dark moon would be perfect for that. But I was going to do a trail with like some snails. In fact, like a hologram, a reflection card would be kind of cool. Like I can have a snail up here, but I can have like these trails going down here, Maybe two snails like, up here with like two trails of like a luminous powder like that. Wouldn't that be like that'd be like a really good like an anniversary or maybe like a Valentine's Day card. Two snails, huh? Yeah, but yeah, that's the one I was gonna do with that. So I need to think about something like that. I think my what were those other pens called? Something like this would have worked too. Uh, Wink of Stella brushes. These ones have like a kind of that glittery look to them. They're not glow in the dark, but I don't know, something like that would be pretty cool. Maybe in conjunction with the those glitters, the glow in the dark powders rather. Now I need to get the moon. You don't have the moon, Sheila? It's on nature set number 35. And then you can pre-stamp them if you end up getting that glow-in-the-dark sticker paper. I need to stamp up a bunch more moons up here and then just render and just have them all ready to go. It'd be really convenient if I had some kind of way just to stamp those out. I'm going to have to... my wife had one of those, what is it called? Scan and cut or something like that. It'd be really convenient if they can, do those little circular cuts like that, just like instantly, I'll have to ask her about that one. Okay, it should already have been in production. I have not received my copy. Ah. We'll look for that one, Linda. They have larger and other colors. $10.99 and up for the... Okay, that's not too bad for that paper there. I don't know if you can... I don't know if does the comment section here allow for like a link? I don't know if you can put a link in the chat here, but that'd be pretty cool if you could. All right, let me charge this up again here. Did you ever get you some Zig glue pens to try with that? I haven't, Bonnie. Was that what we discussed that time? I had forgotten that. Blue green and sky blue. Hey, if we have all those different colors of paper and glow in the dark, that is going to be awesome. I like this one right here, but yeah, if there's a bunch of different colors of glow in the dark, I'm all there, Like on this one right here, if there was, let me see, what color did you say up there? Was there, okay, where'd it go? Oh, I forgot what you said up there, but these ones right here, I think would be cool in the glow in the dark as well. If there was like a little bit of a warmer tinge like that. I mean, I guess it'd look okay having these ones in here, but wouldn't match as well, from a warmth standpoint. All right, let's see this one more time here. Glowing like that. That is so much fun. And that's just like I don't know, that's like I don't think it was even like a 5-second charge, so it's holding its charge pretty well. So okay, so that's the thing about these other brands. Okay, I only know this like this holograph. I mean, not holographic, but the vinyl glow in the dark one. How aggressive it is with the light retention. So that would be the thing to test out with these other brands. It's how long does it take, or how long does it? Well, I guess how long does it take to charge up, and how long does it retain the light? It doesn't need to retain for like 10 minutes or anything like that, but even if it can hold its charge for like a minute, just for as long as someone to go in and kind of look at it and enjoy, like at full, whatever, glowing strength, I think that would be fine. If you can put her in, moderator stat, how do I do? Oh, see, I can't do that because I'm in a different software. I'm not even on like YouTube right now. I'm in this thing called what is this? Ecamm Live. So I can't designate people in this software, as far as I know. Or can I? There's a little star next to something. What does that do? I don't know. I've just put a star. There's like a star thing right next to them. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. I think someone could put it in the comments section when we end this stream right here too, so they can just go in the comments section, and if anyone has like some links that you want to share, or if you find something too, please come back to the video and just put it, throw a link down and say, hey, here's that whatever, and put the link down in the comments section. Not the live discussion thing, but then the video comments below. That would be really cool. All right, folks. Thanks so much for checking out another experiment here. A lot of fun with this here. The glow-in-the-darks add yet another little, I guess, twist to this whatever construction or scenario. And I think it, I don't know, I think those little things like that, the little glow-in-the-darks like that can add, a fun little, I don't know, whatever twist into our scenes, I think. So, yeah. I have to incorporate those things a little bit more maybe in the future. I'll think of some different scenarios for that. These little glowing pieces like this, just on a flat piece of paper too. Like I said, like flanking like a stairway or something like that, I think would be really cool. Or what we can do is we can have like trees, like a couple of trees, and you draw in like a line or something like that, so you can have like these lanterns like they're like hanging on, strings or something like like a paper lanterns, like a string of them or something like that. You put the bigger ones in the foreground, like this, and have another string in the background with, smaller ones or something like that. And I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe going from tree to tree or something like that. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Oh, not the best reviews. Okay. I'll check out some other things. Yeah. But it's the light retention and I don't know, usability. But yeah, I'll have to see how those people how those people use that medium, I guess, or the papers. All right, good night, everyone.